So another away game against a top 6 side and another defeat. In this video I analyse our performance yesterday at Manchester City. Hello, my name's Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. In this video I just want to look back on yesterday's game away at Manchester City in a little bit more detail. Just before I do that, I just want to make sure that you are all subscribing to my channel. If you like what I'm doing and you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well, because it really does help it to grow. And if you've got any comments at all to make about the game yesterday, the performance, or anything else to do with Arsenal, please drop it in the comments box, because I do like to hear from you guys as well. So yesterday's game then, it was frustrating, wasn't it? Once again, we've played away at one of the top 6 sides, and we've come up short, haven't we? Now, it's quite difficult to be overly critical about the performance, because I don't think we played badly, and for much of the game we were equal to Manchester City in most aspects, I felt. We certainly wasn't overrun like we have done maybe in previous seasons there, remembering of course last season's game back in June. So the improvements on that side of it are quite clear to see. We are a lot more difficult to play against, a lot more difficult to beat, but unfortunately we have lost a lot of our attacking intent and our attacking flair. I suppose it didn't help yesterday that when it came to the team selection, Arteta decided not to play with an actual centre forward and plays Willian in almost a false 9 position, which unfortunately didn't really work. But Arteta has had a habit of throwing in the odd surprise, hasn't he, in his team selection. Now, of course, much anticipated was whether or not Thomas Partey was going to start the game for his Arsenal debut, but Arteta felt he wasn't ready, and he started on the bench. So the team which started the game was Leno was in goal. Now the back three initially was named as Rob Holding, Gabriel and Kieran Tierney, but unfortunately Rob Holding pulled up with a hamstring injury in the warm-up, so David Luiz was drafted in to start the game, which wasn't weakening us at all. In fact, I was quite surprised Rob Holding was initially named in the team anyway, as I feel as though he's been our weak link defensively this season. So David Luiz came in and actually played really well. The midfield saw Hector Bellerin on the right of the wing back positions, Bukayo Saka was on the left, and in the centre it was the pairing that started most of the recent games in the Premier League, which was Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka. And I say no Thomas Partey unfortunately in the starting lineup. And I say the front three without a recognised centre forward. We had Aubameyang on the left, Pepe on the right, and I say Willian in this false 9 position. Now I have to say that it didn't work, certainly from an attacking point of view. We didn't really create enough opportunities at all, and this is not just in this game, this is unfortunately throughout the season, and even going back into the back end of last season. You know, one thing that we are now is we are a lot more compact. We've got a lot better shape when we don't have the ball, and we are a lot more difficult to break down, but unfortunately it has taken away a lot of our attacking play as well, and that's something that I know is still a process that we're working on, and hopefully the introduction of Thomas Partey into the side can make that transition between defence and attack a little bit more smoother. I thought we started the game, the first 20 minutes, we were far too passive really. We sat very deep, we invited Manchester City to have the ball in front of us. You know, I guess we were looking to use the counter-attack, which had of course worked so well in the FA Cup semi-final, but Pep had of course learned his lesson from that. He nullified the threat of Aubameyang by basically doubling up on him with Walker and Cancelo. Aubameyang got very little space to work in, very little opportunities to do anything in the game, and actually I felt as though he maybe wasn't quite 100% fit either with his ankle injury. He didn't seem to be moving particularly freely, and he did seem to be playing almost, you know, in second gear. And I say whether that was an injury or whether it was just because Man City did a good job of nullifying him, I'm not sure, but that did counteract any of our real attacking threat through most of the game. We didn't threaten at all really until they scored, and then after going behind we did then start to bring ourselves more into the game, take the game to them a little bit more, and we did create 1 or 2 opportunities. But the goal itself was, I felt it was quite a poor goal to concede. It was probably a well constructed move from a Manchester City point of view. Aguero was involved, He played the ball out to Foden. I thought Bellerin sold himself far too easily. His body shape was wrong. Foden cut inside him. And when Leno made the save, I guess what he's got to do is push the ball away from the goal. And instead he pushed it straight back out towards the penalty spot, where Raheem Sterling was able to just slot it into the corner of the net. So it was a poor goal to concede from our point of view. And when you're playing in these games away from home, going behind makes life 10 times more difficult, doesn't it? But the hope I had was that in their previous home game, Man City had also gone 1-0 up against Leicester. And in the end, of course, Leicester came back to win 5-2 in that amazing game. We were never likely to do that, if we're honest. But I say we did have a bit more of a go at it once we went behind. Bukayo Saka was probably our most dangerous player from an attacking point of view, down the left-hand side. He got into some great positions. He was unlucky not to score with an effort that Edison pushed over the bar. And then probably our best chance of the game, actually, a really good move down the left-hand side. Aubameyang put Saka in, and the ball came off Edison's shoulder and looped over the crossbar. Just a fraction more. If his shot had been a fraction higher, it would probably have gone in. So really unlucky there not to get on level terms. And then Aubameyang did get one opportunity in the game. It was just before half time. Initially it was flagged offside, but had he scored, VAR would have allowed the goal, because he clearly wasn't offside in the replay. But it was quite a tame finish, if we're honest. And again, Edison was out quickly to block the shot. Of course, we could have had a penalty, couldn't we? Right on the half-time whistle when we had a corner. It looked like a high boot, didn't it, from Walker on Gabriel, who were trying to head the ball back towards the goal. Oddly enough, in the Liverpool-Everton game earlier in the day, Liverpool had been given a free kick for a very similar incident on the edge of the penalty area, and this wasn't deemed as a foul. It wasn't even checked on VAR, and that was that, and no penalty for us, which we shouldn't really be surprised about, because we don't often get penalties in these type of games, do we? The second half, actually, I was quite looking forward to the second half, thinking that we would come out and have a bit more of a go at them. We'd finished the first half well. We had one opportunity right at the start, didn't we? That header from Pepe, a great cross actually from Aubameyang, but it went straight to Edison. And after that, our attacking threat was almost non-existent. The thing I think for me, Arteta maybe was very late making the substitutions. You know, it was clear that we needed to get a centre forward on, a striker on. You're 1-0 down, and I felt as though he should have made the change with Lacazette a bit earlier. In the end, it was 20 minutes to go when he brought him on. Maybe it should have been done 10 minutes earlier. It was clear that the system wasn't working. We wasn't creating any opportunities, and I think that needed to be changed earlier. And of course, you know, to bring Thomas Partey on so late in the game, I think it was the 83rd minute, wasn't it, when he finally came on. I don't know what he was expecting him to do in that little time. I don't see why we couldn't have thrown him on a bit earlier, giving him an extra 10 or 15 minutes to really try to have an influence on the game. I say, when you're 1-0 down, you want to try to make these changes a bit earlier. So I don't really know what that was all about. It seemed a little bit strange. What did Arteta show his mate Pep far too much respect? I'm not really sure. Of course, on the positive side, how many times in the past have we got turned over in these games? You know, especially away at Man City in recent years, the game's been over and done with quite early on. This time we kept ourselves in it, and you could see the improvement in the performance. But what I've not been enjoying, and not just yesterday, but perhaps over the last few months actually under Arteta, is now with our attacking play, it does seem very regimented, almost choreographed, and there's no spontaneity to it. There's no instinct involved. It doesn't seem. It doesn't. It's not. I'm not saying it's totally ineffective, because I say we did create one or two chances by playing like that in this game and in the previous games, but I suppose it just seemed maybe a little bit put it more into focus perhaps on the week of Arsene Wenger's book release, where we've been talking about Arsene Wenger a lot. Of course, the great sides that he had. Of course, the Wenger team's attacking play was very instinctive, wasn't it? Whereas now it isn't, and to me, I'm not enjoying it. I can see the improvements that we're making, certainly without the ball now, the work that we're putting on a chain training game, you can clearly see it. But then, I mean, I was probably one of the few people that didn't really enjoy watching the Manchester City team from a couple of years ago, the team that got 100 points in the league. I just didn't really enjoy watching them. The way that they play is not my type of football that I like, unfortunately, and it seems to be the way that we're going. Now, of course, I can totally understand and accept, you know, when we're winning trophies like we did last year, we're winning games, but when we're not winning games, it becomes more frustrating for me, because I'm not enjoying the football that we're playing. I understand it's an evolution, if you like, and it's a process, and it's not all going to come together all at the same time. You know, we have improved massively the defensive side of our game, which was the first thing that needed improving, and hopefully as we progress, the attacking side of the game will come as well. I say Thomas Partey could be really important to that, being that link between the defence and the attack that's maybe been missing, and maybe he's a final piece to put that all together. Let's hope so. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to really see that yesterday. I say I was particularly frustrated. Again, just like the game at Liverpool, really, you know, what we've got to remember is that at this moment in time, and whether things will change as the season goes on, Liverpool and Man City are not as good as they have been over the last couple of seasons, either of them. They've both started the season slowly. They're not the same team as they were. I don't think either of them have been. I mean, Man City have lost a few players, haven't they, with David Silva leaving Man City, and you know, before that Vincent Kompany, and Kevin De Bruyne obviously didn't play for him yesterday. So it was a good opportunity for us to get a result there. You know, Liverpool haven't started the season particularly well, and we went there with the same kind of not necessarily negative attitude, but showing them far too much respect. You know, you saw what Leicester did to Manchester City by going for it, and I don't think we're necessarily ready to play like that yet. I think we'd concede too many goals, and you can see the process. But I say it's a little bit frustrating, and it is something that I'm hoping that will change as things progress a little bit more, because at the moment it is quite dull. I've got to be honest. I think this season, if you take out the Fulham game, and I think that was more the fact how poor Fulham are, every game since then has been pretty much the same. Very dull football. It's not flowing, certainly in an attacking sense. And although we've won, you know, we have won a couple of games at home, away from home against the big teams. Again, we seem to be having the same issues in getting a result. So that's that there then. I mean, I say very frustrating game, very frustrating to watch us playing at the moment. Certainly I'm feeling it. I'm not enjoying the games at all. We've got a really big Premier League game next Sunday, haven't we, at home to Leicester. I think it's a massive game for us now. If we lose to them as well, then I think that really shows that the top four is going to be difficult for us, you know, which I guess when you look at where we finished last season, we shouldn't be surprised about. But I think, you know, the optimism that was built up by the way we finished last season, winning the FA Cup, and then the positive start we had made to this season, maybe the expectations have maybe changed slightly. So I think losing to Leicester would really bring us back down to earth. But they haven't got a particularly good record at the Emirates. I mean, I will be doing a full preview of that game later on this week. So we can look at that, but I think it's a massive game for us now. Of course, before that we've got the start of the Europa League with a game in Austria on Thursday. Should be a fairly comfortable game. I'm expecting a lot of changes, and again I will be previewing that game as well a little bit later on in the week. Let me know your comments about the way we played yesterday. Let me know your thoughts about the team selection, the Willian situation, the position that he played, leaving two strikers on the bench for that long. Obviously Thomas Partey not starting. What did you make of all of that? Please let me know your thoughts, and you know how you're feeling about the way we're playing in general. I say I'm not enjoying the football. I've got to be honest. I'm not. I want to enjoy it. I'm desperate to enjoy it, but I just haven't. I'm afraid that the games are just the football is not exciting at this moment in time. And I say I know it's a process, and I accept that, and I buy into it, and I know we're on the right track, certainly defensively. But I just want to see a little bit more from us in an attacking sense as well. This is not just away from home; it's been in our home games as well. So that's what I'm looking to improve, and hopefully I say Thomas Partey can be the man to maybe help that transition a little bit better. So that's that there. I say thanks for watching this video, thanks for supporting the channel. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, or you click on the subscribe button. Tomorrow night, of course, is a big show I'm doing, talking to ex-Arsenal striker Isaiah Rankin. Of course, he didn't have a long career at Arsenal, but he did have an interesting career after he left. So there's a lot to talk about with him, and of course, getting his views on the current situation at Arsenal, the game yesterday as well, and lots of other stuff as well. So that's 8 o'clock tomorrow evening on this channel. So please tune in for that. And I say during the week I'll be doing previews of the Europa League game in Austria, the Premier League game against Leicester. And also as well at some point as well I'll be doing another Positive Arsenal podcast. I don't know if I will have time to squeeze one in this week. Obviously with the Thursday night game could be difficult, but I'll see if we can get something done maybe Friday, possibly for that. But otherwise we'll certainly get one done next week, if not before. So stay tuned for that. Lots of good stuff coming on. I say thanks for all your support so far. Thanks for watching this video, and of course in the meantime hopefully a few better results to come over the next few days. Come on you Gunners!